Oh shoot, Percy! I should have had you go a bit later, but that's okay. We'll come back to you because I was just resetting the YouTube stream, and that's where your son was. So very good. Um, yeah, glad to have you back with us this evening. VE3 PWJ Peter, man, see you're getting skipped 3 times in one night. That's a record. We're going to make you up a certificate.
Oh, good evening, Larry. That's just what I need, another certificate. Hi, hi. And I had a question from Diane. She wanted to know what was wrong with liver. So I thought I'll throw that one at you. And I'm in the same boat that you are, Laird. I think I know what the new meaning of shaggy dog is, and I'm looking like one now. So, and the next thing is KNX is 920. You can actually hear them here. I've heard that station down here. My radio on the Traverse is the best radio for that. The other radios I got does not work, but it's very, very faint because it's right beside WBEN Buffalo at 9:30. But you can get it here in Oshawa. Over to you, Eric, and get some more beans for the pot.
Okay, very good, Peter. Yeah, it says it's down in Wingham, and I'm not sure where Wingham is. I know it's the other side of Toronto, but I'm not sure how close to Kitchener that would be, or if is it down more towards Brantford? I'm not sure. I'd have to look that up, but it's yeah, I'll have to listen for that. I know you can probably get a live feed on the internet as well, so we'll have to listen for him in the morning sometime and see how it goes. And let's see, there was also VE3IRB Robert.
IRB, just doing a quick sign in and saying hello in 73 tall. I'm on a Zoom meeting on my computer. I'm trying to watch it on YouTube a bit, but I'm having to switch back and forth sound, so I'm missing most of it. But anyway, 73, VE3 IRB, back to you.
Okay, very good, Bob. I'm thinking about maybe having another Zoom meeting this weekend too. It's maybe Saturday afternoon at around 2 or 3. But if I do, I'll send out an email message to everybody. And with that, let me see. I'll take another round for check-in. So if anybody wants to check in, now's your opportunity.
VE3JAR.
Okay, I copied Vic VE3JAR, and there's another station trying to get in, but you're just breaking the squelch on the repeater, and I can't make out any audio. I just get static. I'll tell you what, I'll take Vic, and if you're mobile or you can swing your antenna towards between Oshawa and Port Perry, if you have a directional antenna, try that, and I'll get back to you after Vic. Vic, take it away. And what would, if you could do anything right now that you're being restricted to due to COVID regulations, what would it be? And again, disclaimer, I'm not telling you to go out and do it and break the law. I'm just saying, what would it be?
Yeah, okay. Well, I really haven't got anything at the top of my list. Maybe go on a de-expedition down to the Caribbean where it is nice and warm. But other than that, we're still having fun on HF, working all kinds of DX whenever the system allows. And we're back on using the computer program to get into the repeater. Not sure if rebooting my whole system did the trick, or you guys, you were off the air a little bit too with YouTube when I got back, so not too sure what fixed my problem. VE3JAR, go ahead, and good evening to everybody.
Yeah, no, I think the YouTube problem, Vic, was just our nightly YouTube issue where it just freezes up for no particular reason on the streaming. And so I have to stop the stream and start it up again and, go at it again. But that's all that happened there. We didn't, no one's done anything with the controller tonight anyways, at least not during the net. Maybe someone did something before the net, but since the net started, people have been on there. As a matter of fact, BAH from Kingston is coming in on it. So Anyways, with that being said, we will go way back up to the top as the friendly giant says, look up, look way up, and we'll go all the way up to Gerard, VE3CWR. And your buddy Percy's on here again tonight, Gerard. Uh-oh, did we lose Gerard again? Okay, nothing heard. That other station that was trying to get in there, the same when Vic was checking in, that distance station. You want to try again?
Yeah, I hope this is slightly better. Victor Echo 3, a Kilo, Yankee, George in Caledon.
Okay, very good. Yeah, that's a lot better, George. And welcome to the COVID-19 Rag Chew. And just an informal rag chew that we're doing every weeknight, Monday to Friday at 7 o'clock. And just sort of to break the monotony of all the restrictions and being sort of self-confined, and to give the guys a chance to chat and ask for help if they need anything. So we're glad you're able to join us, George. The topic for this evening is if you could do anything that you're being restricted right now with the COVID-19, what would that be? And for instance, I don't know if you're on YouTube. We're also streaming on YouTube. So if you go to youtube.com and then look up my call sign, which is VE3 Lima Kilowatt Sierra, you'll see us live streaming. I want to get a haircut, and you'll see why if you ever go there. And so what would be your sinful pleasure if you could do anything?
Well, since I got back from Mexico, I've had a large boat, but we can't even launch our boat. I'd love to be out on the boat. Anyway, I won't hold it. I have to get out of here. I'm kind of time sensitive, and I do appreciate you coming back. Sounds like a wonderful group, and maybe we'll be checking in more often. Do appreciate everything, and yes, I had my beam pointed wrong way, west. That did not work. Thanks very kindly. 7-3 to all. God bless. B3KYY.
Okay, very good, George. Well, thanks for joining us. And again, we're here every weeknight at 7 o'clock. So feel free to join us again. We'd love to have you. And by the way, you're the third person who mentioned their boat. So you're in good company. There was another station in there trying to get in. Very rough, but we'll try it again. I think it was VE3ORR, but you may want to try that again.
That's Victor Echo 3, Romeo Oscar Romeo, VE3ROR.
Okay, very good. VE3ROR. My name is Laird, VE3LKS, and welcome to the COVID-19 Rag Chew.
Good evening, Lonnie. My name is Rob, Romeo Oscar Bravo, and I'm located in your lot stations on the air with sound and everything.
Excellent. I think you said you were in Hamilton. It just dropped out a touch there, but it sounds like that's what you're going to say. Very good. Well, thank you and for joining the Rag Chew this evening. And tonight we're discussing what are, if we could do anything that right now restrictions are preventing us from doing, what would that be? And I give an example as I would want to get a haircut because I'm starting to look like a shaggy dog.
I think more than a haircut would be just to get together with my friends again without having to, worry about getting sick or breaking any restrictions or anything like that. Over.
Yes, that's at the top of a list of a lot of people's lists, and yeah, we feel the same way. We're quite a sociable group over here, and we're used to getting together 2 or 3 times a week at least, and this is just killing us, just having to be on the radio. But I will make the best of it, and when it's over, it'll just make it all the more fun. Anyways, thanks for checking in this evening, Rob. And where did you say you were from? Again, I just dropped out just a touch there when you were mentioning it.
I'm in Hamilton, on the West Mountain in Hamilton. I'm running full power here, about 50 watts.
Okay, very good, excellent. Yeah, nice. You're coming in nicely now, and yeah, our repeater is north of Oshawa, way up on a hill. So we've got good coverage usually into Hamilton if the station's not down in the right along the lake there as such. But excellent. Well, thanks for joining us this evening. And if you want to stick around for the second go around, you're more than welcome to. And with that being said, I am going to go back up to the top this time. And we'll start the second round of the nightly rag chew. VE3 CWR, Gerard. No, we seem to have lost Gerard. Brian, VA3 BAH down there in Kingston.
Oh, roger that, and thanks for the second kick at the camp. It's interesting you mentioned CKMX. Broadcasting was my first love, and so I remember sitting up in the wee hours of the night listening to distant stations. I honestly don't know if I ever heard this one before or not, but there's a station out that way that does a hog report. So if you want to know the price of ham hocks, just cruise the AM dial. They're out there. And I found out that CKNX actually does an obituary report at 12 noon daily. And have that. Back to you.
Okay, there's a lot of things I can say about this. Number one, you do have the face for radio. So yeah, I can see how you would be good on the radio broadcast. And I like the hog report. As soon as you said that, it reminded me of WKRP with Les Nessman, winner of the coveted Silver Sow Award. I'm just looking back through some of the YouTube entries, and Dave mentioned he's Percy's son, who's actually works at the radio station there, and they're an hour west of Kincardine. So I thought Kincardine was on the lake. Maybe I'm wrong, but very good. So yeah, they're that's quite a ways away. So hearing an AM station from that distance here in Oshawa, I have to start tuning that in the morning when I get up and see if I can hear them. And yeah, he just commented. Dave also just commented that the service agriculture community. So excellent. It's nice having you with us tonight, Dave. And I'm sorry, but your dad came on just as the YouTube feed went down. But we'll get to him in a few minutes again. VE3 CRU, Bill.
Okay, VE3 CRU here. Great to hear everybody on that. VE3ROR. I have worked in contesting several times, and VE3KYY, and Calvin, I'd like to get to know a little more about him. I hope he's on QRZ.com. As far as a haircut, I have a wall barbing set that's whiskey off a Hotel Lima with all the snap-on fittings and all that. I've yet to try it. Somewhere all the fittings are in a bag. I've yet to attempt it, but I'll let all you pretty boys go first to the barber. Some of you have to go to work, so looking good is important, and others it's just your nature to want to look your best. So I'll stay scruffy till the barber gets finished with all of you. But great net, they say, and the sun is way down, so I won't hold it. Oh, I know, there's one more thing I want to say, and the VECJR was a fantastic signal audio-wise and all that. This weekend, Saturday, from 7 to 11, is the last of these sprint items. It's 6 meters, and 7 o'clock to 11 o'clock. If you are able to receive it, try to receive it, see what you hear. And sadly, we've got so many of these nutcases that are now using this FTA stuff, digital, that it's harder to find simplified band stations. Of course, if you've got the proficiency, you could always try CW. Anyway, have a great weekend, have a great evening, everyone, and we'll catch you tomorrow night. The ECTRU over to
Oh, Bill, you must really despise me then, because I'm one of those FT8 nutcases. I do that all the time. So there you go. There's something for everybody in this hobby, and that's the joys of it. It's not just for CW or for doing contests, or it's a lot more broad nowadays. So that's what makes amateur radio a lot more fun. Let's see, VA3 DCE. Doug, are you still with us, or did you take off?
Oh, I'm still here, Laird. You're running through quickly at this time. It's not even 8 o'clock yet, and you're on the second go-around, well on the way in the second go-around. I just heard one thing I wanted to check on, too. Other than being out in Thunder Bay, I've got a son-in-law who just had a 49th birthday in Toronto. He's my daughter's husband, has 3 kids there, grandchildren there. He just bought himself a motorcycle for his 49th birthday, a Triumph 900. It's beautiful flame red, and I would love to drool on it. And I'm looking forward to seeing that, because I've never seen him ride a bike, and he looks like the smile on his face, his ears are in severe hazardous area. He's smiling so widely there. Anyway, I'd like to get a chance to see that. Anyway, it's 7-3 there. We'll talk to you again later.
Okay, very good, Doug. Yes, that would be fun. And yeah, you hate it when you get all these nice new toys and you can't get anywhere close to them. Very good. Oh, I just Dave popped up on YouTube, and he says, yeah, he's an hour east of Kincardine, not an hour west. I was going to say he'd be out in the middle of a lake out there, or not Georgian Bay. It would be the lake, yes. So Lake Huron. So very good. Glad to hear you're not out there in a dinghy there, Dave, and that you're on the land. VA3 BTQ, Jackie.
Hello, everybody. I guess what I can do for you, Laird, is I have a set of horse clippers, and if you or anyone else, along with Scamp, would trust me enough, I'll use them on you. That could be the end of everybody's problem. Over.
Yeah, I'm just afraid that you'd mistake me for a dog when you saw me, and you start scratching under my chin, telling me to sit or something. Oh, very good. You know what, Jackie? We may just have to take you up on that offer if this goes on much longer, because I'm getting to the point now. I do have a beard trimmer, and from when I used to have a beard, I have one now. Everyone's giving me grief about wanting to cut it off, but I'm just saying, what the heck? I don't have to go to the office. I'm working from home, so I'm just letting it grow a bit. I can take it down pretty short if I have to. I'm just not sure if I want to. Let's see. VA3 TPS, Steve.
Okay, Larry, very good. Great net you got going. Lots of great comments. See where everybody's headed with this one, and good luck with the haircut there. After I saw what my wife did to her little dog when she tried to trim her hair, she offered to do mine. I'm not allowed her to get anywhere near me with a pair of scissors, that's for sure. But anyway, great job. Thank you for being there. I'll say 7-3, and I'll be listening to the end. VA3 TPS is on the phone.
Okay, very good, Steve. And yeah, I guess sometimes it's 6 of one, half dozen of another, but if one is really bad, you might as well risk it and go for the other. Let's see who's next. Joe, VE3 VGJ.
Yes, Laird, that's good horse clippers, Jackie. I like that. I'd really like to see you work on Laird with those. Just a recap from yesterday. One place, we're talking about different restaurants and meals. One place I forgot to mention when I go when things, used to go quite often, was on Olive, the Polish Hall. I think they're open Fridays, but mainly Saturdays I go there for lunch. I think, Laird, you were there one time. You go into the side door down the basement. It's not fancy, just banquet tables and a bit of a hall there, but boy, they have some good pierogies and cabbage rolls and, what's this, schnitzel, I think it is. Really good spot there.
Yeah, I think I've been there a time or two with you, Joe, and you're right. They've got all the old Polish Grandma's in the back making up pierogies and cabbage rolls and sausages and you name it. And it's quite the feast they put on. And as you say, it's nothing fancy. It's just, 3 foot by 6 foot tables with fold up chairs, but you don't go away hungry and you have a good homemade meal there. Yes. Man, we're gonna gain. I'm already gaining weight just by the fact that I'm not getting out as much as I should, and I'm afraid that once this is over, I'm gonna gain a lot more going to all these places that I love to eat at. VA3 RTV, Jeffrey.
Yeah, thanks, Ed. So I'm just thinking, one of the things that came to mind that I do miss with this virus thing is I used to regularly go to Bob's place, and we used to blow up radios and things, but I really enjoyed playing with Little Walter, his cat, and when Bob and Christine went on holiday, I had the pleasure of looking after this little cat, so kind of got attached to him. So I miss playing with Walter. And let's see, a couple of other little things. White Feather Farm, I'm afraid I will not be able to attend because I have a hospital appointment very early in the morning. And I just wondered if anyone has heard from Lex. It's just that haven't seen or heard of him for a while. Just wondered if everything's okay there. And with that, back to you, Led.
No, the last I heard from Lex was when we were talking about emailing back and forth about the repeater. And that was the last I heard of him. Maybe I should fire off a message to see if everything's okay. Could be that he's just enjoying some downtime and getting caught up, but that doesn't hurt to check. So I appreciate you bringing that up, Jeffrey, and I will fire off an email and see how things are going. And just as a public service announcement from the North Shore Amateur Radio Club, if anybody would like to get on our mailing list who's on YouTube watching, this is my email address right here. Just my call sign, VE3LKS at yahoo.ca. That's VE Victor Echo 3 Lima Kilowatt Sierra at yahoo.ca. And just fire me off an email and mention that you want to be on our mailing list. We don't send out a lot of emails. You'll get one a month for sure that'll tell you about our upcoming club meeting, as well as include our newsletter. And then once in a while, if something special is coming up, we will send out maybe one, at the most 2 other emails a month. But usually it's just 1 a month. We try to limit it. As well, if you're on the internet, you can go to, if you're on Facebook, feel free to drop by VE3OSH North Shore ARC Amateur Radio Club on Facebook and click to join, and we'll add you to our group. And our website is ve3osh.com. So excuse the fancy graphics. This is high tech right now, as high tech as you can get. Hi. But we'd love to have you join our have you see on Facebook and that. And yeah. Anyways, I'll quit rambling on and we'll go down to William, VA3WBZ.
Hey, good evening, Lauren. I'm back with you again. One more thing, if I could do something, I'd like to be able to go down to the Indian Reserve and pick up a handful of cigars. I'd like to sit in the garage there, can of pop with me, and have a cigar for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. That's how long they last. I have it with puffers. But they're closed down there, and you can't get on the reserve to buy them. And the other thing, too, the wife, I talked to her about cutting hair and all that. And I said, at $25 a pop, and if they wash their own hair, we could go just cut hair in the back deck. And she thought about it for a little bit. She says, I think I'll get you to cut your hair. We leave everybody else alone. But I'll work on it, see what we can do. What do you think, Larry? Does that work? And the rest of the fellas out there, and the ladies.
Well, just like the speakeasies in the 30s, you could have a little bit of a side income going on there. Very good. I like that. I like that, Bill. And I'm surprised that they're closed on the reserves as well, because I would have thought quite a few of those stores are almost like a variety store, like a Circle K. So I'm surprised that they are closed. But interesting. I didn't realize that. Let's see. VE3 RPN, Scott.
V3 LKS, V3 RPM. Guess this is the last round there, Laird. Just looking at the time. Yeah, great time indeed tonight, as usual. Good bunch. And, yeah, I was just thinking, I could even give you a perm. I still have some of my Helen Curtis stuff when I was a hairdresser and Whitby around. It would look a little different on you. I don't know if you'd want to get on Zoom right away with it. Anyway, we'll look forward to seeing you on Zoom, too, if we hook up on Saturday. And tomorrow night, of course. I won't miss that. Thanks, buddy. You're doing a great job, and everybody on that have a really great what's left of it week. And we'll go to that special place on Saturday, hopefully all being well. My young lad cleaned the supplies out there. Him and his girlfriend went up. Hopefully he left me something. Have a good night, guys. V3 LKS, V3 RPS, 7-3.
Yeah, well, I'm the one who's doing the groceries during this whole kerfluffle that's going on, and I like buying some of my groceries up there. I know normally we go there Saturday morning for breakfast, but since we can't do that, I figure it's nice that we can still at least patronize them and help them out a bit. And so I always save some of my groceries for up there. I always get eggs. Their eggs are always amazing. Of course, they're fresh from the factory. I mean, I think Ubert brings them, throws them in the back of his pickup truck, and 30 seconds later, the pickup truck's in front of the store, and he's got fresh from the factory eggs in there. And I like the tomatoes and the frozen stuff too. I know, Scotty, you've been putting a big dent in the chili that they have there, and I think lasagna too. So they got some pretty good stuff up there. So it's not a bad place to go get some groceries. Anyways, let's see. But I will be there, so I need eggs, I need tomatoes, and I may even try the chili. VA3 KJI, Grant. Oh, sorry, Grant, not you yet. VE3 SOI, Jimmy.
VE3 SOI, one thing I forgot to mention is like driving my vehicle long distances, just always take it down to Niagara Falls to see if the waterfalls is still going over high, and also driving the Solara around and racking up some more thousands of kilometers on it. Back to you, Laird.
Yeah, you've only got just over 500,000 kilometers on that Solara, Jimmy. And if you don't get out and start driving it more, it's going to start seizing up on you, and then you're going to have to trash it. And you'd hate to do that because the body's immaculate, and the guy in the junkyard will give you an award for the best looking car at the crusher. Anyways, yeah, you do keep that vehicle in fine shape. And now we'll go to Grant, VA3 KJI. Sorry about that.
Not a problem, Meredith. It was actually funny when we first started. I'm watching the time. I said, geez, he's really late tonight. But that's the idea of technology. I had my antenna on the radio, on a different radio that wasn't even turned on. Hi. So I missed the first minute of conversation tonight when you were calling for check-in. Yeah, Jimmy with 500K on the thing. That's not bad. My daughter has a 2010 Corolla that's got 340,000. And since she has no more money, we're hoping it'll last the 500,000 too. Back to you.
Very good. Does she take out loans from the Canadian Bank of Dad?
Absolutely. Who do you think bought the last one? The last one was a graduation present. She paid for most of her university, so I figured it's the least we could do. But I'm not in any
being a retiree on a fixed income. I'm not in the position to buy another one. Over.
Yes, I know what you mean. Well, I'm not retired, but I still won't buy a vehicle for my kids. Now I do help them out a bit, but the young lad here, he's still at home. He just finished college. Um, right when this COVID thing comes in, he was supposed to do another month of co-op placement, and that got put on hold for now, understandably. And he's looking for a job, but I mean, no one's hiring right now. And he's looking for a job, but I mean, no one's hiring right now because of COVID. So he's stuck at home. But I'm putting him to good use. I'm making him earn his keep, and you could call it slave labor, but I just call it, you're helping your dad out. Anyways, let's see, VE3HIX, Bob.
Good evening again. First, I wanted to thank Jeffrey for his kind words about Walter the cat. I think the cat misses you here as well. Jackie, you mentioned horse clippers. I don't know if they're the mechanical type or not, but I'm old enough to remember using, as a kid, when you get your haircut, they'd always go around your collar with a mechanical set of clippers where you squeeze the handle together. A little piece of metal came up to hook the index finger over, for the barber, of course. And that's the way it was done before they got electric motors on these things. My wife did give me a haircut of the back of the hair on the back porch. Worked out better than I thought it would the other day. And just one last word on what we miss with this virus cases going around is the spontaneity. I was out today, for instance, putting grass seed down finally, where I got a stump removed last fall. And if I had run out of grass seed, before this all started, you just hop in your car, you go to a store and get some grass seed. These days, if you can find a store that is open, and that's all coming, especially with hardware and gardening stores, you still have to remember, if I got the plastic gloves, if I got the mask, stand back from people, if I got my credit card in my outside pocket, that kind of thing, so that you can get to this stuff and get out easily and come back and hunker down again. It'll all calm down again, though. And then back to you, Laird, to the E3HIX.
Yes, and you forgot the one part you forgot there, Bob, is do you have the 45 minutes to stand in line waiting to get in the door? Very good. Yes, I know what you mean. Usually I don't at Costco, but I did the other night because I knew I wasn't going to go and stand in line for another half hour again anytime soon. So when I bought stuff, I bought it so thinking about 2 or 3 months in advance, and one of the things I bought was grass seed. So I got a big bag of grass seed, and I'll get to that eventually. Let's see, VE3KZT, John.
Okay, back again. A couple of things. I don't know WBZ, but yes, I have a 1946 Willys restored, first year after the war. To 1946, so obviously not painted military color. It does have some of the 1942 parts on it, so they come off the assembly line, like a 42 grill and tailgate and the lights. So yeah, it's floating around here. 20 years to restore it, and I drove it last 1st of July around Oshawa as the first on the road in 20 years. So I have that, and there was one other comment. You mentioned a gentleman from Darlington that done a presentation. I would like to know who that gentleman might be. I spent a lot of my years at Darlington. After that.
Okay, well, first of all, he's not a gentleman. His name is Grant, and I may have said Darlington, but I'm not sure. Grant, were you at Darlington or were you at Pickering? And I hope you're still talking to me after that. VA3KJI.
Yeah, no problem there. That was actually at both. I started, basically half of my career at Darlington. I went back and forth a few times as my job changed, but it's not that really all much of a difference. 15 miles on the highway, over.
Okay, John, does that answer your question?
Okay, well, I was at Pickering in 1962, and I finished up at Darlington Pickering, I looked after equipment, heavy equipment tower crane operator, and then at Darlington, I was 14 years at Darlington doing all the heavy lifting of the steam generators, boilers, and the calandrias. So, been at both plants. Actually, been at all the plants, but those spent most of the time at those two. Pickering in the 60s, and finished off at Darlington in I think 1998 or something like that.
So you were there ahead of me, John. I was 2 years old in '62, and I started with Hydro in '81. I was on the operations side, and you would have been on the construction side. So I got to Darlington in '91 and left. I retired in 2014.
Good stuff. So you missed all the heavy lifting at Darlington. No, that's good. That's my life. So it's all heavy lifting. Like the Calandria 600 ton, the steam generators 500 ton. Those were my toys.
Mechanical home, Mr. Johnson. If it was too heavy, too hot, too hard, too high, we would call them. I guess you crane operators would think the same thing. Back to you, Laird.
Okay, very good. Yeah, I like that. I was 2 years old. That's the joys of ham radio, though. I mean, we've got friends that are like decades apart in age, and yet, we get along just great and have a good time together. And it's nice that our hobby is that diverse. VA3 QAD, Rizwan, are you back with us?
Yes, I'm back. I was out to push some stuff, and now I'm back. So I just gave honor about this repeater because my friend is in Durham, so this is closest repeater to him. Started into it, so thought I should check in with him. So yeah, that's what. Over.
Okay, very good, Rizwan. And whereabouts are you located?
Yeah, I'm located in North York.
Oh,
so North York, so Finch and Islington would be the nearest intersection. Over.
Okay, excellent. Well, thanks for joining us this evening. I did show for you the first time around, but I didn't hear you, so I figured something had come up and you had to step aside for a few minutes. But glad you came back, and glad you were able to join in the Rag Chew this evening. And just out of curiosity, if there was one thing that you could do that you can't do right now due to these COVID restrictions, what would that be?
Well, going at my parents' house and because can't really meet older people in this stage because in this time because they are actually more vulnerable than us. So, but we do see each other like to come around to sit in the car and see each other. So yeah, that's good. Other than that, I'm actually kind of enjoying it because I don't have to commute every day to work. Over.
Yes, it's funny. A lot of people have been mentioning getting together with friends, and I can appreciate the commuting. I know usually I drive from Oshawa to Port Hope every day, but I'm just working from home. I've been home now. I guess this is my 4th week. And maybe 5th week. I've lost all sorts of time. Now I know what it feels like to be retired. All these other guys on here that are retired, I know what it feels like. I don't even know what day of the week is half the time unless I look at my clock. But yes, it is nice not to have the commute. I get up about 45 minutes before I have to start working, and make breakfast and have something to drink, and then mosey on down, catch a bit of email, then log in, do 8 hours of work, and the trip back home is walk up a flight of stairs, and then I'm ready for supper. Hi. Anyways, thanks for joining us this evening, Rizwan, and we are on every evening during this COVID-19 outbreak. We'll be on every weeknight, that is Monday to Friday at 7 o'clock. So we'd love to have you join in with us again. And let your friends know. VE3 SAA, Percy. Okay, I know Percy was having a bit of a problem with his microphone today. Percy, are you still with us? VE3SAA. Okay, we'll come back to Percy in a minute. VE3PWJ, Peter.
Yeah, this has been a great net tonight. Lots of info going back and forth. I guess it's going to be a cool night tonight and tomorrow night. I guess I better get the snowblower back out there just in case. I don't think I need the block heater for the car yet, though. Anyway, have a good rest of the night. I'll say 7-3 from here, and we'll listen for you again tomorrow night, Larry.
The snowblower out. Could you give me a haircut?
We'll see if the snowblower will do it for you.
Okay, very good. Yeah, it's shaping up to be a real ugly weekend. Temperatures down near freezing. So I was thinking earlier today, I wonder if we should have a Zoom meeting on Saturday afternoon, and just have a Zoom meeting maybe around 3 o'clock. And I don't know what we would talk about or what we could discuss, but we did our club meeting that way, and we could do another one just to break up the monotony of a Saturday afternoon. So if anybody thinks that's a great idea and would be interested, fire me off an email, or we can make a comment here too. But here's the email address if you're on the YouTube station. There's my email up on the screen right now. Yeah, look at those high-tech video graphics that I was able to produce all by myself this afternoon. Isn't that amazing? Anyways, there you go. And we'll figure out what we could do as a Zoom meeting, but it would just give us some, because I don't think the weather's going to be all that great. Let's see, VE3IRB, are you back with us?
VE3IRB, yes I am.
Okay, Bob, I don't think you told us the first time around what your sinful pleasure would be if you could ignore one restriction during COVID. And yeah, so take it away.
I guess for me it'd be just getting out and around with friends more, and just out at various events in the community. I like to go out, see what's going on all the time. So I'm being a wee bit confined, but it is a good break at the same time. Back to you.
Yeah, very good, Bob, Robert. And just out of curiosity, can you give us an update on the Victory Garden? How are they going to be able to proceed, and do they need equipment and stuff like that?
Yes, we're going to continue as is for this year. Equipment-wise, we're just going to basically stop cutting the grass. It's up in immediate areas. We're not going to enlarge any of the gardens. We're just going to use already tilled ones. So basically, we're fine. We've never went out for donations. In fact, we really don't go for them at all. And so we'll continue as is, and we're planning on focusing more on home gardens anyways, so I think we'll be okay. Thanks for asking, though. Back to you.
Okay, excellent. I know I was thinking about putting a home garden in too, but I got a maple tree I need to take care of. I've been trying to find some beavers down by the creek behind my place, but I can't even find a beaver. They must be self-distancing too. So, but without a couple of beavers taking the tree down, I get too much shade in my yard. But I'd love to have a garden again. I don't know why I planted that tree. It's been the bane of my existence ever since. I can't put up my antenna that I want to put up, and it may just get taken down. VE3JAR, Vic.
Yeah, okay. Well, I haven't really got home much to add to it. Everybody's got some good comments, so anyways, we've been active on DMR, so that's always a good fallback when FTA goes flat. Okay, 73, good night, and maybe we'll catch up with you guys on Saturday afternoon, or...
Excellent. Well, as I say, if anybody has any ideas as to what they would want to discuss or see during a Zoom meeting on Saturday afternoon, let me know. Send me an email, and we will see what we can pull together on short notice. It's only a couple of days, but we're flexible. We should be able to do it. VE3KYY, George, are you still with us? Okay, nothing heard. VE3ROR, Rob, are you still with us?
I'm still here, Larry. I hope you're copying me okay. Just want to check the output here. I'm at full output. Nothing more to add. Just interesting listening to the net. And maybe if I get a chance, I'll check in with you guys again during the week. Is it just a weekly thing, or is it on weekends as well? Over.
No, right now it's just weeknights. So Monday to Friday at 7 p.m. The weekends, the guys want to party all night and recover from their hangovers all day. So it's a rowdy bunch. No, we're just doing it weeknights for now. But we may do a Zoom meeting on Saturday afternoon. So we're not sure what we would cover, but if you would like to join us, just fire me off an email. If you have a pen and a piece of paper, my email address is just my call sign, which is Victor Echo 3 Lima Kilowatt Sierra at yahoo.ca. Or if you go to the North Shore Amateur Radio Club webpage, which is ve3osh.com, I'll be there on the front in the contact page as well. So you can fire off an email if you'd like to join us.
Okay, thanks for that information, Larry. And I don't know if Bill is still listening or not. We appreciate you, but hello to Bill and hello to everybody on the net. Nice to hear. Nice to hear many people checking in. It's amazing. Just a quick question before I go. How many check-ins did you have tonight?
Okay, on the radio, I'm up to 22 check-ins on the radio. And on our YouTube feed, we've got an additional 5 that signed in on the YouTube feed. Some of them are at a distance, so they can't get in. We have a couple of SWL listeners that join us, and they listen in on the YouTube. And so altogether we had 27 check-ins.
Oh, very nice. That sounds great. Okay, the reason I ask is because I do some net controlling myself, so I just curious. That's a good number. Okay, well, 73 to you, Larry, and thanks for being there, and good evening to everyone on the net here, VE3ROR.
Okay, very good, Rob. Well, again, thanks for joining us, and we hope to hear from you again. Rob, well, again, thanks for joining us, and we hope to hear from you again over the next little while as we're confined. And with that, I will take one last call for check-ins. So if you've been lurking on the side and wondering whether you should key up your microphone or not, now's the time to do it. This is Laird, VE3LKS.
V3XEQ, Lurpy.
Hey, Trevor.
Victor Echo 3 Delta Romeo Oscar.
Okay, I copy Christopher, VE3XEQ, and Phil. Take it away. And our topic of the evening for the Reg Chew is with all the restrictions in place right now due to COVID-19, if you could do one thing that's restricted, what would it be? For instance, I said I would want to get my hair cut. And if you're on YouTube, you'll see why. No, I'm not saying to go out and do it. I'm just saying, hypothetically, what would you do if you could do one thing?
Well, okay, Laird, you asked for it.
No.
Yeah, there was a piece of property up north of Bancroft. I've been up through the town how many times, but they had 1,100 acres for 1.2 mil pocket change, of course. And 11 acres, and you think with that backhoe with 1,100 acres, lots of room to bury the bodies. But better yet, you get your by one of the Second World War. But better yet, you get your by one of the Second World War tanks and park it in the middle of your front lawn, and have the big semicircle driveway that comes in. And when somebody comes in, he's that, and they probably wouldn't stop at the front door. But then the OPP would show up, and then it would be, you'd probably get charged with pointing a firearm. And you'd probably be charged with also cleaning out the guy's car. That could be even worse. So I'm going to say 7-3 to everybody, but that's what I would do if I had the money and time and all the rest. But 7-3, be kind to somebody. And take it away, Laird.
Oh, very good, Christopher. Actually, that story almost reminded me of a real life event. I went to Europe in the summer of '82 when I was in school. And when we were traveling through East Germany, when the train would pull into a station, and they were dull looking, they were like, everything was painted drab gray, but they'd have literally an army tank there. And as the train pulled in, you could see the turret following the engine of the train. And the reason why they did that is if people tried to jump on and the train tried to take off, the tank would just blow the engine up and disable it, and people would not be able to escape. It's pretty bad when you have to go to that extreme to keep people in your own country, but that was a communist country then, and that's what they did to prevent people from leaving. So unnerving, the first train station you pull in, though, and you see the tank actually moving and swinging his turret. VE3DRO, Phil, good evening.
Hi, good evening, Net Control and everyone on frequency. First off, sorry for the late check-in. I apologize. If I was to loosen some restrictions, I would say cottage country. I miss cottage country. It's kind of... I wish that they did say that cut off the cottage country, because it's nice to get together with buddies and go up to the cottage. Go ahead.
Yes, there's a lot of people feeling that now. There are a couple of guys on here have trailers up north, and I know a couple of our members have cottages up there, and they can't get up there right now either. So yeah, I feel that, and there is nothing better than getting up to a cottage. I know my sister and her husband, they used to live just outside of Port Carling on Lake Rosso, long before it was millionaires' mansions up there. And it was always nice to go up there and just sit on the dock and relax. And ditto for other cottages I've been to over the years. So I can see how you would be missing that. And with that, we are at the bottom of the list, and better late than never, Phil, because if you had to probably come in 15 minutes from now, we'd probably be done. But at this point, I am going to take one last call for check-ins. So if anybody does want to check in before we close down the net, now's your opportunity. Okay, nothing heard. So just a reminder that if anybody is interested in participating on the Zoom meeting on Saturday afternoon, probably at about 3 o'clock, I don't know what the topic will be, but we'll find something ham radio related and have a little meeting. Just send me an email address. My email is easy. It's my call sign, which is Victor Echo 3 Lima Kilowatt Sierra at yahoo.ca. Or if you go to the north.com, you'll find my email address in the contact page as well. So with that, I'm going to say 73s. Thank everybody for joining in this evening. If it wasn't for you guys and gals, we wouldn't have a rag chew, and it definitely wouldn't be a lot of fun. It would be just me, babbling on about nothing, and it would not be a great evening. So thanks again, and look forward to doing it again tomorrow night. And with that being said, I will say 73s, but if anybody has any ideas, I'll stick around for a few minutes. So if anybody has any ideas for a meeting, feel free to contact me after the net here. This is Laird BE3LKS, 73s, everybody.
BA3, BAH.
Go ahead, Brian.
Well, I don't know if you want it as a Zoom meeting topic, but I like your idea about Marianne versus Ginger. So I think that should be a question the next time you do the Dragnet or Ragnet.
Yes, okay, very good. Well, see, that's what happens when you say you want to go for a 3-hour cruise, right? It brings up old memories of black and white TV shows and having to adjust the rabbit ears.
Well, was it last week or the week before we talked about old police shows, and Car 54, Where Are You, and Highway Patrol, and Dragnet, and my favorite I remember was The Untouchables with Elliot Ness. So, anyways, and Walter Winchell did the intro to that show. Anyways, have a great night, Laird. Thanks for all you do, and we'll catch you next time. This is BA3, BAH, clear on your final.
Okay, well, thanks for checking in again this evening, Brian. And somehow I got to figure out how to get into your repeater, because I do need a certificate from that net that you put on at noon that one day. So sooner or later, even if I have to drive down to Kingston, I'm going to get one. Anyways, thanks for checking in. And yes, we'll have to keep the Marianne and Ginger suggestion going. Anybody else stick around that wanted to give a suggestion? Oh, nothing heard. Good. I can get to bed early tonight. Get my beauty sleep. Because if you're looking on YouTube, you'll see why. Anyways, have a good evening, BE3LKS, and I'll be clear.